Okay. So, as I said on Friday, we talked about inequality. What's inequality is greater than, less than, greater or equal to those symbols. So now we're just gonna solve inequalities. So it's exactly the same way how you would solve an equation, but instead of the equal sign, it's an inequality sign. So the first one is nice and easy. All we have to do is change is to move that for negative 4.5 over. And when we move that negative 4.5 over, it becomes plus 4.5. So 6.2 plus 4.5, you get 10.7. Keep that inequality sign. And then on the right side, you just have x. Okay? So, um, so what's the main difference between if this is an equal sign and when this is an inequality sign? What's the difference? If this was x equals 10.7, or now x is greater than or equal to 10.7, what's the difference? Phone?
I mean, they're like they're not equal.
How many solutions do I have here?
And
Infinite number of solution. Whereas if it's x equal 10.7, I only have one solution. Alright, so that's the difference between inequality. So fortify your solution. So instead of using 10.7, I'm going to use a better number. So what's one answer? Because we have infinite many right now. 11, right? Okay, so let's see if x equals 11 works. So 11 minus 4.5, I get 6.5. 6.5. Oops. Wow, what happened to my 5? Okay, it's 6.5, which is, yes, it is greater or equal to 6.2. So I know my answer is correct. All right, that's how you fortify your solution. You choose a number that satisfies this inequality and then plug it in. Right? Don't plug in this, just the 10.7, because it doesn't tell you if it's satisfied the greater or less than. All right, and then to graph the solution, the graph, all that means is it's the number line. So 10.7, and then greater or equal to. So I have the solid dot and pointing to the right because it's greater. And there we go. Okay. So when it says graph, I don't mean on a XY axis. All it means is on a number line. Okay. Example 2. Using an inequality to model and solve a problem. So Jake plans to board his dog while he's away on vacation. Boarding house A charges $90 and $5 per day. Boarding house B charges $100 and $4 per day. So again, these type of word problems, we come back to it again and again. For how many days must Jake board his dog for boarding house A to be less expensive than B? Okay, choose a variable and write the inequality that can be used to solve this problem. So, okay. So for the first one, 90 plus $5 per day. So it's just simply 90 plus 5D. And then for B, boarding house B, it will just be 100 plus 40. All right, nice and simple. We've been setting up equations like this before. So now this part, for A to be less expensive than B. So how can I write that out? I want A to be less expensive. Connor?
Think about and then put the inequality side of it.
Which way? So this is A. And then, yeah, less than. Should I do less than or equal to or just less than?
Less than.
Just less than, right? Because I want it to be less expensive. I don't want it to be equal, right? Good job. So now that I have this, just move the 4D to the left. It becomes minus. Move the 9D to the right. It becomes minus. So 5D minus 4D. I just have D, your inequality sign, and then 100 minus 90, I get 10. Right? What's my unit here? Days. That's right. Okay. So if I were to write a therefore statement, it would mean that therefore, if I board the dog for less than 10 days, A will be the cheaper option. Okay. Graph the inequality. So again, just a number line with a 10. Since it's less than, I have an open circle with the arrow pointing left. Right? Again, less than, left. Right? And that's all it is. Okay. Remember the difference. If it's less than or equal to or greater than equal to, it's a solid dot. And then if it's just less than or greater than, it's open. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So you see, it's very similar to when we're doing solving equations. Okay. I'm gonna flip all the way over to 27, page 27. Right. The little bit harder inequalities. All right, 27. Page 27. Solve each inequality. So I know some of you know this already, but let's just do a quick little refresher. This one right here, what do I have to do to that -5? This is -5 times s is less than or equal to 25. What do I have to do to that -5? Casey? Divide, right? So I have to divide that -5 over. So s is on the left side, and then on the right side is 25 divided by -5. Okay? But here's the little trick. Whenever we multiply or divide a negative in an inequality, what do we have to do? Yep.
Flip the sign.
Flip the side. You must flip the sign. So now instead of less than or equal to, it will become greater or equal to. So your answer here would be s is greater or equal to -5. Okay. It doesn't matter if this becomes positive or negative. It's the fact that you divide or multiplied it by a negative number. That's when you have to flip the sign. Right? That's the only trick with inequalities. Everything else, solving equation is the same. Right? So what about this one? Do we flip it? No, because we're dividing by +7. So this is just simply a is still less than -3. Right? When you divide it by 7, it's -3, but the sign stays the same direction. Right? What about y right here? Okay, for C, what's your answer? Y is it greater than or less than? All right. Who says greater than? Who says less than? Good. Okay. It is less than because we're multiplying by -4. So whenever we multiply or divide, we have to flip the sign. So now it changes direction and y is less than 12. Okay. What about this one? Who says greater or equal to? Well, the last time I checked, we had like about more than 20 people in the class. I know it's period 1, and some of you are sleepy, but Participation mark. Alright, so yes, it doesn't change direction. It stays as greater or equal to. Okay, and when you times it by +3, you get -6. Okay. Oh, graph each solution. It's okay. Okay, solve this inequality then. Okay, let's solve this. I want to move that 1.8a to the left side so it becomes -1.8a. And I want to move that 14.6 to the right side so it becomes -14.6. All right. First step is the same. So when I subtract it, I get -4.4. -4.4a is greater than -19.8. Okay. What do I do next? Okay. I want a by itself, so I'm kicking that -4.4 away by dividing. So divided by -4.4, so let's see, 19.8, sorry, whoops, -19.8 divided by -4.4, I get this. So who can tell me my final answer here? No?
A is less than 4.5.
Perfect. Good job. Okay. Because I divided by a negative side, I have to change the direction. So it's A is less than 4.5. Part B tells you to verify your answer. So a number less than 4.5. Joanna, a number less than 4.5? 4, okay. Easier. What easiest number? A number even easier. 0, right. If you have a choice, you always want to use 0, okay? Because with 0, there's not much math involved. So here, if you sub in 0 in here, you get 14.6. And then here, if A is 0, you get -5.2. All right. Is 14.6 bigger than -5.2? Definitely. So you know your answer is correct. Okay. Would 4 work? Would 1 work? Yes, definitely. But I just choose the easier one. Okay. Last one, last example for today. Can you guys try example 3? I want you guys to try it. So everyone try it on your paper. Example 3. Okay, it's very similar to what we did, the previous example that we did. All right. So take a minute to try to solve this one, example 3. Good job. Okay. So in this situation, I want to make sure I have enough money to pay for my ride. So that's why I'm using inequality rather than an equal sign. And it's less than or equal to, because if I have 1025 and it comes out to exactly that, I can still pay for it. Right? So it's less than or equal to, not just less than. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. Um, move this 1.25 over, so it becomes -1.25. So you have 0.75r less than or equal to 9. Okay. Divided by 0.75. Since I'm just dividing by a positive number, I don't have to change the direction. And when I do that, I get the answer 12. 12 what? 12 rights. Okay. Again, in every word problem, there is a unit. Okay. So, therefore, Haru can go on uh, a maximum of 12 rights. Okay, graph the solution. Simply just this 12 solid dot and pointing to the left. Okay, and that's the lesson today.